Welcome to Sports Talk Weekly. My name is Shaun Garisep. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we unpack sports events worldwide. And as we know, in the world of sports, World Cup is happening, boxing is happening. And today we have a very special guest. We have Immanuel Moses, who will be talking to us about what are his views on the ongoing World Cup, and of course, boxing, and of course, AC Academy. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for making time to come to us. We just want you to share with us a brief background of who Mr. Moses is, where were you born, and where are you from, just briefly.
Yeah, my name is Imms Moses, so I'm from Tsumeb. I was born in Tsumeb, and of course, I was raised in different cities, Tsumeb and then the north. So I was in between those two cities. You know, back in the days, it's all depend how you behave in the city. If your parents see that you're not really behaving well in the city, they'll send you to the village. If they also realize that no, this one here, he doesn't suit here, but I think now it's better. Let's send him back to Tsumeb. So I was in between those cities, but my life was more in Tsumeb school, and that's how actually me get into sport. Because if you know, Tsumeb is one of the town that under a mine, TCL. So our parents work for the mine, so that's how we used to get him more involved, because Tsumeb used to have a lot of facility of different sport codes.
Indeed, and Stumeb is really known for having a very rich sporting history. Just tell us, how did you end up in boxing? Where did it start for you? Which year? Did it start at a very young age, or is it something you adopted along the line?
Yeah, it actually started at a very young age, but let me say not really young age. Before boxing, I used to play soccer. So I used to play for Benfica. I was a goalkeeper, and I was also a midfielder before I got to Benfica. So, and then after we finished school, so I actually moved to Swakopmund, and then I moved to Valves, and then not to Valves but to Swakop. And I have a cousin that used to work in the sea in Valves. So I was in between Swakop and Valves, and then I think it was like about around 2000, 2001 when my cousin was moving to Ludres. So I actually went to Ludres with him. So it was a very funny story how I get to go to Ludres. So I'm not gonna say who my cousin was, and I'm not gonna say what company he used to work for, because remember that the guy was working in the sea, and then they have to move him to Ludres through the sea. So I also moved to Ludres through the sea.
Oh.
Yeah. So so now when I moved through the sea, imagine that nobody knew I was in that boat. You see. So we went to Ludres.
From Office Bay.
Yes, Valves to Ludres. So me, when I came to Windhoek, I didn't know Kahanja. I get to know Kahanja going to Tsumeb, because I came from Windhoek on the other side. So now when I was in Ludres, actually they had boxing, but it wasn't that big. So I used to play a role of being a coach and being an official as well. So when we do tournaments, I can be the referee, the judge, and the coach. So now that time my brother already a boxer, like national, not professional but national boxing, fighting for the national team for Commerce first and then national team. So now me, my focus was always in administration. So that's why I was doing officials and coaching and just bringing the guys together and trying to have Lodrets come up with a boxing team. So now there used to be national championship that is for all the regions. It used to be organized by the Namibia Boxing Federation. I think that time Mr. Kaperu was the general secretary, and then Kelly Khalifa was the president of NBF, which is Namibia Boxing Federation, and he was also the chairperson of the professional boxing. So now from Lutherets, now we have a region, was Karas. So now we have to select a team to come to the national championship. So we selected a team. I was the team manager for Karas. So I think that time I was like maybe 18. Yeah, very young. So we came to Windhoek for the national championship. So then I didn't go back anymore. So I stayed here because we have a house in Shantubala where my brother used to stay and my cousins. So I stayed there. That's how I get to meet the Nesta. Even though Nesta is from Tsumeb, I didn't know him in Tsumeb because he was way out of Tsumeb by then when we were growing up. So that's why I didn't know him. But I know his cousin, the Bear. You know Bear?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Gino. Gino used to play for Benfica, left hand.
Oh, I don't know him that well.
Yeah, Gino Garisep, I think what was his name? Yeah, Gino. Geno, yeah. And then Bear, so So yeah, so then when I came in Windhoek and I was always going to the gym with Hitman, uh, following him at the gym. So we go to the gym because the gym is very close here at the Independence Arena. So we'll go to the gym and then just helping my brother there at the gym, and then I end up also helping other guys at the gym because I already have the boxing background when I came in Windhoek. So I didn't start boxing here. So even though people might think, no, you started maybe here in Windhoek, no, and I also didn't join boxing because of my brother. No. I joined it from my own will
But you
and
did you do actual boxing yourself?
Yeah, actually I did. I spar, I trained like a boxer. Everybody wanted me to be a boxer because I was doing well because I'm a sport guy, so
Yeah, yeah.
I know the basics of boxing because I was training, but my aim was always to train because I don't want to teach something to somebody that I don't have a clue. So that's why I pretend like I want to box. So I was training like we do sparring. My guys they say no, you must just fight, man. But my aim was never to be a boxer. So and then I stay here and I was moving between gyms because I always see where there's an opportunity I can be putting my input in. So I used to go to Nampol gym, the Namibia police under the instruction of Mr. Kenneth Matara. So I was now between those two gyms. So because I was very fast learner in many things, in administration, because I can talk, I can practice boxing, I can train. So it was always beneficial for everybody who was working with. So when I'm at Nampol, and then because Kennedy was a national coach, when the national team is in the camp, I also join them in the camp, but I don't stay there because our house is just in Shantipala. And then the boxing used to camp at the youth hostel. So it was very easy for me to access from home to the gym, wake up in the morning, train with the guys, keep them fed. So I was doing the most jobs. So that's how I end up even like in the national team as an assistant coach because my commitment was higher on another level. So, and then I start also upgrading myself. I find out about AIBA, start registering for online coaching courses. Then I took those long-term one, and just for me to have accreditation. So if you ask me any documents I have, because I've done them. So yeah, the list goes on and on. So I fell in love with boxing pretty much, and I started working now, start training also professional at the Nesta's gym. So me and Nesta used to be very close, do a lot of things together in terms of boxing. I can say I was his left hand guy. See, so I wasn't also just his left hand guy because I'm Hitman's brother. No, it's because I know what I was doing. You see, and I know what I want in life. I'm not just a guy that follow you. If something is not right, also I'll tell you. So me and you, we must have a back and forth conversation. We must agree to disagree. I'm not a one way traffic wherever I go. So we must make sure that it makes sense for both of us. So that's why you see me when I decide to do whatever I'm doing now, it's because I have the capacity and the consistency in me. It's always matter because you can't do something if you don't invest a lot of time in it. So yeah, at the Sunshine we stay there. We work pretty well together. I think if you look, all the world champions that came from Namibia, especially in Vendo, except Harry Simon, because that was not my era.
Yeah, yeah.
My hands touch those guys. I train all those guys.
You see, you speak so passionately about your about administration, about training, and it, I like the fact that you are already speaking about your time at Sunshine. So I just also want to know, or let the viewers know, what happened at Sunshine that you left. You say you speak of how you are comfortable in working if you don't agree with something. How is it? What happened there at Sunshine that you decided to go and form AC? Is the
You see what happened there. Look, you know that we coming from different era, and then with technologies and everything, and also how we look at things. So I started looking at things different way because in my stay there, I invested in boxing. I think I'm the first one to go to the conventions. I went to the World Boxing Organization convention, which was in Florida. I took a trip to Las Vegas to meet the Mayweather father at the Mayweather boxing gym. I stayed there for a month, went to a convention of WBO. And those are things that have been like, you know, always tell the guys know that, listen, I think Namibia, we produce three world champions. Now we need to take this at the next level. I think we have a capacity also now to attend those type of convention to know exactly what is going on over there. Instead of just having a representative, while you have a capacity and you can afford to go there and learn and see the executives of the organization, the rating committees, the WBO president, and the different promoters from other countries, different matchmakers, different officials, just to have the outlook.
How they do things.
Yes, instead of you just receiving an email, you can't you can't ask somebody all the questions through the email. So it needs a lot of time. But when you go physically there at the convention, you learn, you meet so different people, and you see how things been done different. So I start actually asking the guys, can we not do this type of things and so on. And then people, they were not really interesting, but the fact that sometimes people, when you come up with an idea, they look at money first. How will you get there? Who's gonna pay for this? And myself, I'm this person. So when I want to do something, because I just feel like nothing will happen if I don't invest. See, either why can't I buy my own flight tickets? Why can't I book my own accommodation? Because I look at my priority first. If I can afford to buy a car, that means I save, because the car was important to me. That's why I saved it. So I can still save and buy a flight ticket, book a hotel, register myself at convention, and put myself in a comfortable position to be able to achieve what I want. So that's what I did. I did it several times. I went most 5 consecutive convention. So and then you see, when you have a vision, it might be a threat to people sometimes, but it could have actually benefited all of us, because I was doing it for all of us. But people look at it in a different way. They think you think you know. But if I know, I know, because everything is in black and white. Nobody can stop anybody to learn, because the future, I don't rely on people, because men die, women die, and tomorrow my father is no more there, so I must be a man on my own. So, and I take care of whoever is there. So when we do those type of things, it's never to disrespect anybody, because before we do those things, we bring it on the table and say, listen, this is what we want to do. And then we are growing now. In terms of now, we produce these 3 world champions. And of course, I think we are on another level. We also just need to, and also by that time, we it's not that we didn't have sponsorship or funds. By that time, MTC is on board. I remember that time, I think we used to get like 10 millions only to one academy. That's a lot of money anyway for us to be able to do those things. And we also look at other different things. But then I realized, no, this thing, if we cannot go this way, I'd rather go my way. And my way, when I went, it was in a very respectful way. So I told the guy, this is what I want to do. And then, and I did it. So I established the AC Boxing Academy. And of course, when I started, I realized that I want to start fresh with young kids. A boxer that I can take in the street and make him. I didn't want to go with, I left alone anyway. Any boxer you see at the AC Boxing, they follow me after. See? Because people couldn't see, even though maybe they had their own opinions or their own idea or whatever they wanted to do, there was no other house. See? And it's quite different when there's no options for people. Even in football, when there's only 2 teams or one, people stuck there, even sometimes they're not happy. See? But when there's option, it's good for competition, and actually it should be a very healthy competition. So me creating the AC Boxing Academy was just to give opportunity to those who might not be in your favor at your club.
At that moment when
Yes.
it was just one
Yes.
institution.
Yes, because right now, if you see, I think that was also a very good platform. What I did, because now after that, I see so many people opening their clubs. See, we have the Bolero Boxing Club. We have a lot of club in Windhoek now. You understand? So, which is a good thing. Now we can do a Windhoek Commerce tournament with 9 clubs, which is a good thing. Now, sometimes when there's only one house, it kills talent, because you might not have time for everybody. but others, they might make life more easier for you. And also my aim was actually to be just to have a boxing academy. That means that means having a boxing academy will not stop me from working with Sunshine as a promoter, because the promoter actually can sign my boxer. I manage them from my academy, and then he does show. They train with me. So then that's where now it becomes so tougher, because the guys with the promotions now, they realize, no, if you are not in his gym, they can't promote you. You understand? So so meaning you need to be in his gym to be able to fight in his promotion. You understand?
Yeah.
So so then that just say, oh no, okay, if this is the way forward. And that's something actually that the sponsorship was supposed to do something about it, because when we say no, we sponsor boxing, it's different when you say you sponsor boxing or when you sponsor one stable. It's either you sponsor a stable that cater all the academy, give opportunity to everybody, have your contract in place, then we just do business as usual. So it is not like that. It's like, if you are not with us, you cannot fight in our show. So that's why I came up with the AC promotion, so that I can promote my guys in my gym, and others, those who are not in those gym,
So
with promotions.
what you are saying is the reason why you maybe not left, or why you decided to do your own thing, was because you were not seeing things the same way. There's nothing to do
Yes.
with any other thing. It's just that
Yes.
you wanted growth and you're not seeing things the
Yes.
same way.
Yes. So and then like I said before, you see, in the history of boxing, it should be like this. I have an AC promotion. There's a guy Bolero in the north. He have a boxing gym. I can't be so selfish to say no for your guy to be able to fight in our promotion. He must come to our gym. And now this guy, he have done what he have done from the beginning to develop those kids. See? So that's why you see all the world champions here. They came from their gyms to go there, so they'll be able to fight, because that's where the money is. See? You can name them. The Indongo, the Ambunda, all those guys, they started with a different gym. But now for you to be able to be promoted, you must be in that gym, which is really unfair for other coaches. That's why a lot of coaches, they gave up in boxing, because it's not easy. It's not easy to be a promoter. So if they can't be promoters, and then their boxer being taken, then they will die a dry death. So it was like that. And then I feel like what I have done, it opened doors, it brings to a lot of competition. Now you see, there's a lot of boxing. Now there's Salute, there's MTC Sunshine, there's AC Promotion, there's Kilimanjaro. So now the boxers in the north, they have now opportunity to fight in the north on Kilimanjaro. Now the boxers in Windhoek, they can fight here. The boxers from those gyms that don't have promotion, they can fight in my show, they can fight in those other shows. So, but now there's also a difference between fighting and being, because fighting is just participating, but there should be a plan also. So like our goal, I signed few boxers that fighting under my promotion, but they don't train with me, just because I have an access to, I have a plan to develop them, put them in the position to become champions, and put them in the position to be ranked in the world. But I don't train them. See, they train with other, because professional boxing is like this. Let me say, for example, you have Top Rank, for example, or Eddie Hearn, Matchroom. They sign boxers all over the world. See, there's a guy, Isaac Dobe from Ghana. He signed with Top Rank, Bob Arum, but he have a trainer. See, his relationship with the promoter is based on promotions only. Then he have his trainer of his choice, and it's very important for fighters to have the trainers of their choice, because boxing is it's a very tough fight. You need to have somebody that you trust, somebody that you can really open with. That's it, especially in terms of coaching. So I think that those were the only few things that people really don't talk about. And apart from other things, they would just say, no, we are doing good for boxing. No, it's because not everybody have a voice. See, a lot of people, when you talk, they shut you down, and then you're normal. So with me, it's different, because what I do is pure boxing, and I work only with people that really trust me.
Okay, just tell us. 3 years ago, I noticed that you were talking of unity in the boxing industry, and I see you are still firm on that that perspective, so to speak. Just let me know, 3 years ago and now, how far has AC Academy come? What have been your successes? What do you see? What do you want to improve? Where do you see yourself going forth?
See, for the past 3 years, if you remember that I had a prospect in my gym, and if you remember, I had a kid called Special One Nangolo. So I trained him when he was amateur at the age of 6. He turned professional at the age of 15, 16. And then from when he was 16 to 19, I managed to get him like 10 fights. See, and then I made him a national champion, and he just become now international champion, the ABU, which is WBC International. So when you look at that, we have done that without any sponsorship, you know. So it's because I know I know boxing very well. I know that the sport is not really that expensive as people say, but if you know what you are doing, you can always do the right thing. That's why I'm saying at the end of the day, it's not about how much money you have, it's about what you do with the money. I can have this little money, just like I said, I've been doing shows, boxing dine, selling table for 15,000, and then I've been using that money for to fund the event. So meaning now on top of that, if we get a sponsorship, we can totally change the face because we already changed boxing just with that, with us being on board. If you look at what we have been doing in local and international, and I think AC boxing, I think we are there on top when it's come to have our fighters fighting international. Like this year alone, I think we had more than 15 fights outside. And we talk about big fights. We have Desert Storm fought twice in the state. We have Indongo fought in Russia like 4 times. Meroro fighting. Chiepo, Dafolume, all those guys, we get them fights international. And that came because of the investment that I've done back in the days when I went to the conventions, when I went to all those conventions, met with all the matchmaker, different promoters, being connected together so we can unite. And also the advantage on me was this, I started this thing when I was really, really young. And people were impressed to meet me doing boxing at that age, because if you look, there's a lot of old people in boxing. If you just check in general, they hardly, you can't find a lot of young people there. So in the administration, what I mean, only the fighters that are younger, but the coaches, they are all, but now, and also the thing is, for them to be that is because all of them become coaches after they retire from the sport of boxing as active fighters. So me, I didn't start from box. I didn't fight to retire to become an official, to become a trainer. I started pure something I needed to know, to learn, and I learned because I think you can learn anything. So I think if I get a sponsor, come 2023, you will see AC Boxing doing big fights here, or having one of our fighters fighting for a world title. Because if you have funds, you can actually put your fighters in position, because championship come with sanction fees and stuff like that. And then and I think if we have money, we can do better.
You see, when you speak of your fighters, you speak with so much passion about them. Why is it that why is it that in some spaces you find people saying that you are more interested in your in money, you are not interested in the welfare of your stable boxers? Why do you find this while when one speaks to you?
Okay, I haven't find anything that towards me because nobody gave me money. So even you go in my record, there's nobody say no, or you can Google and say anytime you see somebody hand over a check of 40,000 or 50,000 or 100,000. So before somebody even have to throw that, you must look at how did I get my boxers where they are. So now even if I have to make money from the boxer at the end of the day later, it's because I put money for them to be in that position. So and if you look, this you just compare to English Premier League. Namibia, African countries, all the people, they love that league. It's not because it's beautiful, no. It's because the English, they put money in their own league. So and they really have they manage it well for it to start sustaining its own money, and it become as a trade rather than just a Premier League, rather than just football. So the thing is here, I know it's always easy for people to say, oh, this guy is interested in money. Of course, when you are using people's money, obvious you have to give a report. People must know if you really use the money for it. If you have boxes, and also numbers don't lie. If you have money and your fighters, you don't give them their money, you don't pay them, obvious they will look like that, and then people start questioning you. And also the other thing what I do is when I'm talking to my fighters, I educate them. You need to educate somebody before they go and accuse you. You see, the person need to know that you are a boxer, I'm a trainer. Technically, I'm providing you everything. I train you and I promote you. So, which is I give my guys platform free. Go there, look for sponsorship. If there's anybody who want to sponsor you, bring him to the table. Let's see what they want to bring, because we don't want, because people have a tendency of giving athletes 2,000 in Katutura, eh? And then they drink with them there also. You see, so that's not sponsorship. That's you just give your friend money. But when you sponsor somebody, you need to know that either you talk to an athlete and say, okay, what do you need for your career? Where can we assist? You know, I don't have boxing shoes. I don't have boxing gloves. I don't have access to the fitness gym. And then you say, okay, $2,000 actually can cover 4 months at a fitness gym. And then I can look at you that you contributed to this athlete. But if you just give the money in the street on secretive, and then later when we have events and then you show up, no, I sponsored this boy. No, it doesn't work like that, because for you to be able to sponsor an athlete, remember that they work with people. Let us know. Let me know, because me, I can channel that money you want to give to things beneficial, because there are fighters. That's why me, I don't get excited when my boxer win a title and then I heard a certain individual, a businessman, throw a party. Why do you want to throw a party for an athlete? And then you buy alcohol worth 10,000. But this guy can come to you and looking for $500 just to buy a pair of hand wraps or gloves. Then you say you don't have, but you wanna entertain them with alcohol. So to me, it's kind of different, because that's why how I love the sport is different. That's why I always talk to the athlete. Look, you need to understand what is important in your career. Eh? People love you when you are active, and also when you get money, invest your money very wise, so you don't go and blame people later. You see, you find former world champions without money at the moment, but when they cry like you never seen $1 million. So some of us, I never even see a 500,000. I never see like 100,000 belong to me straight. No, I have seen 20. See, I put those money together. People also big money, they blow it up, and then they wanna blame people. So you can't blame people for blowing up your own money. And that's why me, I focus more on education. I have people that I bring in to educate my boxers while they are broke, because it's difficult to advise somebody with money. But if they are broke and they get money, they always think, oh, this and this and this. See, that's why school is for kids. And then you went through school. When you grow, when you see you get money, you already have the education background. You cannot really educate somebody who have a lot of money. It's very
Yes,
difficult.
very difficult.
So they have their own plans. You see, when a guy win a world championship, when he's in his hotel room, he can't wait to get in Namibia to go and buy a lot of alcohol and show off to these people. But you sit with those people. Look, you have family. There's life after boxing. Make them watch documentaries of how people had money and they get broke. Just to put some sense in their brain, because at the end of the day, people have a lot of expectation. The way things look from outside. That's why sometimes you hear people get sponsors of how many millions, and then you hear certain things like, "Oh, these guys they don't even have what." Now you start wondering. So it's because things doesn't do what it look from far. It's not what it is. Sometimes get closer, have conversation with people, and see. So with me, with that, it can always come, but I have answer for that, because you must prove me. Give me proof. And even with fighters, I educate them. I try to groom them. I try to make them to grow their name, so that people must come and watch them fight. And because also sometimes I sell my event myself. See, like the boxers come there. I mean, I have an event. I run around promoting the show. I teach the boys how to promote the show. I teach them. I tell them what to post on their social media. You don't just post anything, because you are a brand yourself. Promote yourself. Make people promote yourself. Post more video of you training. Post more video of you in the gym. Post more video of you, because people know you for that. So you don't go there and post alcohol and then tomorrow you are looking for a sponsor. It does not make no sense. And if you play soccer or you play football, netball, whatever, and then on your status there's only party.
See, like you speak of your fighters, just let us also know how many fighters are on your stable, and how many. I know you don't want to point out, but how many of them do you see as well potentially title beaters?
Let me say, most of my young boxers that I have, they have potential to become champions. It's all about timing and have discipline and focus and me getting funds, because when they are growing, they're becoming expensive as well. So I think most of my prospects, they all have potential to become champions.
So you're saying that most of them they have the potential to be champions. Uh, a champion, your brother was a champion, WBA. Uh, your brother is not involved. Is he involved in the AC Academy? Why
Yeah,
not?
of course he is involved, but my brother is not really a guy that, even when he was a fighter, he's a guy who doesn't really talk a lot. And also, he have a job. He's a police officer. He's a chief inspector. He have other responsibility, which also not allowing him that much to be. And he's just a very down to earth guy. So he do come to the gym. He's still training. He come there. He talk to the fighters. He motivate them. He show them what is hard work and dedication. So he is a different guy. He's not like me, but he come to encourage the fighters, and he's always in the gym, because how he train hard, like he's active more than youngsters, and then also that motivate the kids, and that also give them under pressure to work more harder. That's the contribution I get most of the time from him.
So he's just in a capacity of motivating and so forth.
Yeah, he's not in the boxing business, like, but he is in there to support the kids, talk to them, and that's very important for me, because with the hard work that he put in, and the time frame when he started is not the same as now. So they now, the different eras, it's also playing a major key, because when you tell the people, say, look, as we used to go to school barefoot, you guys now, I must have a taxi to pick you up and take you home to school and pick you up. You see, we never have that life anyway. We used to walk to school, but now our kids, now you have a taxi that pick them up, or you drop them and pick them. So even now, you find these kids, some of them, they've been dropped at the gym by their parents. So some of these guys, they never had those people to drop them. You have to run either from Kuriangava to the gym at youth hostel, and then you go back late. So it's just different. So you try now to put that in, then you see you are more advanced. Why can't you just work hard and do it?
So also I wanted to now ask you, currently, generally in boxing, locally, who's your favorite boxer? Who do you think are the best boxers currently?
I don't really have a favorite boxer, because my favorite is boxing.
Just boxing is your
Yes.
favorite. You don't have any and former boxers?
I don't really have favorites. I just learn, because to me, the thing is, yeah, I learn from everybody. There should be a guy that you don't think is good, but there's something I can pick up. There should be a guy who is a very good boxer, but he's lacking something. I learned, so I don't have a favorite boxer.
When you were at Sunshine, that time when you had strong views about Harry Simon, about him being finished. Do you still hold those views? Can he make a comeback even if it's a cameo?
No, but that's actually, I don't want to talk about on those things, because these are common sense things. You see, yourself, you play soccer, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now what do you think of bringing Bimbo Chiro to the Brave Warriors?
No, he can play exhibition matches.
No, no, no. We don't talk about exhibitions. I'm just asking you a straight question. What do you think of us bringing Bimbo Chiro to the Brave Warriors?
He can contribute in
No, as
a
a
coaching.
player.
No, he can. He's finished. He's retired.
Which era is Bimbo Chiro?
98.
Which era is Harry Simon?
Almost the same era.
You have the answer.
So your views were based on him being from that era.
So this is straightforward. When you age, you cannot be younger. You see, so age play a major key, with the respect that we have for all our former players, former boxers. When it's time, it's time. You can't force, because, and you also cannot fake these things and say, no, you want to do exhibition, and then you want to say you are the best. No, you are the best with the people of your era, and we gave you credit for that. So don't disturb the youngsters' credit, because there is always levels. Either you retire, you become a coach, you become a promoter. Then you can still take the sport to the next level on another card, not as a fighter, because like I said before, it's like football. That's why you see we have Maneti them, they become coaches because they know they can't play football anymore. There's a difference with exhibition. There's no Olympic Games for exhibitions. You see, there's only one. Either you retire or you become a coach or you become a manager. Things. That's why I said it's very important to talk to the fighters, to the athletes, so they start planning their life while they're active, because there's life after football as a player, and there's life after boxing as a boxer.
Is Walter Kudondokwa having any association with AC Academy?
Yes, Walter is my friend, but he's based in the state now, and because I don't think if he's interested in boxing, but like I said, it's up to the fighter when what you wanna do, and us we just there to support them. So I think he do other business, and if he call and say no, Imms, I wanna come back to boxing, and he's in the right form to fight, of course we're gonna help him.
Imms, recently you had the boxing bonanza. There were again people in some pockets were saying there was sports awards in Ludret. Did you get any advice from people, or was there any suggestion to have the bonanza in Ludret or postpone it? Hence, there was a national event going on.
No, the thing is, I couldn't postpone my event because look, this event I planned it before the sport awards, because and myself I was even in the meeting of the sport awards when there was no date at that time. We already have a date. We announced the date, so there's no way I can postpone my event. And also, if you want me to take the event, for example, to Ludret, if you can fund us to go to Ludret, we can go. And not everybody went to Ludret also at the end of the day. So it was those invited guests that went, and I don't think there were more than 300 people. So a lot of people were there because boxing is entertainment, you see. So a sport award can take place and you can still have a boxing. And also most of the people that went to the sport awards, they don't attend our boxing anyway. They don't come to boxing. So it didn't play a major, it was not a big challenge for us, because we had a pack arena. The people came to support because there were so many people in Windhoek that didn't go to the sport awards. Like I said before, Ludres is not here, it's very far. So somebody have to budget to go to Ludres. But to come to Nampa, you're just gonna get into a taxi or drive your car, you are there, or you can walk. So to me, I think having a lot of activities, it's fine, it's very good. And we have capacity to record the fight, and NBC was there, the fight, they pre-record the fight, they can still show the fight on TV, people can still watch it. So that was not really a problem to us. So it was, and we needed to do that fight. And after that week, of course, it's festival, people are planning to go for holidays, and I can't compete with corporates. Those are big companies that sponsor the sport awards. And this event, we fund it ourselves, so we cannot postpone. It's gonna cost us more money, because you might not get the date, because you already booked the date, you booked the venue, so you can't get the venue. So we have to go ahead.
So it was to do with the logistics. And tell us, your AC funds itself.
Yes.
All these years you've been funding yourself. Many people ask, is it the one-man show, or are there more than one people running the show? People, when you make decisions like that, when you get advice, they say you don't want to listen to advice. These things, do they get to you?
No, there was never an advice even based on our show. So there was never something like that. That now we must postpone or we must go to Ludritz. Because I give very reasonable answers, which makes sense. So exactly. I say, this is the budget, let's go. If you say no, we don't have money now, how do we go there? See? So even when people are going to Ludret, it's because there was a budget and it was funded by a certain corporate. If it was just like, let's have the sport awards, then nobody will go there. Everything have to be paid for. So AC is not a one-man show. So we have members, we have executives in the team. But at the end of the day, there should be a leader in any organization, and it always come like that. Any company, it was formed by one person, and then the rest join. But if there's no drive, it won't go anywhere. See.
Before we conclude, let's just end where we started. just tell us in conclusion, what is your relationship with Nesta Tobias? You said you're very close, and who do you think will win the World Cup? Any team you are vying for? And also, lastly, just tell us what is your take? Will Benfica come back into the Premier League, your former team?
I don't understand why people keep asking me what is the relationship between me and Nesta. So we good, we friends, you know, we talk, we know each other, we speak. But the thing is just that I run my business, he run his business. So there won't be time for me to visit him to do this because we are both busy.
Because remember, you said you were very close. You said
Yeah.
you were his right hand man.
Yes.
Yes.
When I was working with him
Yeah.
at the Sunshine. But now, so that's the same as even you with your friend, your school friend,
Yes.
wherever you went to school. So now you still talk, you still close, but the responsibility that you have always limits you to be with everybody you want to be. See, so and we are in a very competitive competitions, so it's very difficult for us to be like, okay, what's up, how's things? So everybody is running his business. If it is necessary for us to come on the table, or maybe there's a fight that we need to do, we can do if both team agree, and you can also force somebody to do anything with you if they have other plans, you see. So what I do, me, I if there's a possibility, I send the proposal. If it's not accepted, we move on, we look forward, because we have plans. Everybody is just part of the process. If I contact you, you're not the only person. I'm just contacting you. If you say yes, we do it. If you say no, I dial the next number. So to the World Cup, I feel like I haven't been really following football, especially because also, you see, to me, I get very emotional when we didn't have football in the country. So that thing really killed the interest. So there was no use for me watching other team if we can't fix our own football. Now that we have our Premier League started, it start bringing, because me, I love to go out there and watch soccer. So it was for the World Cup. Even when it started, I was not really interested, but now I start get developing some love again back, because now we have it at home. Because me, I want things to be done here, because Namibia also have a capacity to qualify for World Cup, just because we have those downfall of people fighting, and that's why even in boxing, people have been fighting, but I did not focus on the fight. I focus on the goal. That's why we managed to be here. But in the football, our football, they were fighting too much, and then they delayed 2 years without playing football. That's not really good. And all those guys who were 20 years, now they are 22. See, they are now 2 years older. So
3, yeah.
without playing, and practice make perfect. If you don't practice, you will never be good. So now, yeah, I think, who do I think will win the World Cup? Ooh, still early, man.
Still early.
I want to see after all the groups are done, then.
Okay. No, Imms, thank you very much for coming.
Sharp, my guy.